with their up and down motions through the fiat wallet. And
Mm-hmm.
so they actually have a regulated platform through the CFTC. Now we just need the SEC on board.
Right.
Now, both of you guys are at crypto.com, and obviously there's been some major issues with Binance having some issues and Coinbase having some issues with the SEC. Do either of you guys have any concerns about crypto.com having issues with the SEC?
No. I'll let Earl go first.
I do, due to the fact that we're trading some of the what they called securities are classified as securities, so they're still listed. I mean, we have Binance listed on crypto.com, even though crypto.com isn't listed on Binance. But we do have more regulatory factors. We're accepted in more countries than Binance. We have regulatory power or operating power and license to operate in more countries. And while Binance was, just buying up companies this entire bear season or trying to make them go bankrupt like FTC and Voyager, Crypto.com was quietly working on securities and getting approved in multiple countries and working on their banks. Just like when Binance lost their banking in like Nigeria, we were working on getting banking authorities in Australia. So, while one goes down, another one goes up, and we'll continue to see that. But with the securities being traded back and forth, I mean, the SEC, Gary at the top, I see us potentially being at risk just as much as the others.
How about you, Blaze? You think that there's going to be any risk to crypto.com?
I'm not worried about it because they turned around and made a deal with Binance to keep, our funds in the States, right? So crypto.com is way more transparent than Binance is. And so if they made a deal with Binance and they ain't bothering them about the other tokens, right? So I don't think they're going to bother crypto.com.
All right.
We're pretty transparent. And our people pay taxes to crypto.com when they cash out.
100%.
So
now let's take a look at real quickly. I just wanted to look at the price of Bitcoin. So we're looking at Bitcoin right now at 30,585. Now it's been a really good year for Bitcoin and crypto. It's been a really good year for stocks. We're going to talk about that. We're halfway through the year. Today is July the 1st. This is the first day of the second half of the year. And in the first half of the year, we've seen Bitcoin go up like 80 to 90%. We've seen a lot of stocks go up, and a lot of them are trading at all-time highs right now. What do you guys anticipate is going to happen with Bitcoin in the second half of 2023? Do you guys have any predictions? We'll start with you, Earl.
With Bitcoin itself, I have a prediction that, it could visit up to the $45,000 range. However, with the current market macro strategy going on with Europe, and potentially Germany and multiple countries actually filing or going through a recession, and Paris being on lockdown currently with their buses being closed down at 9 and riots going on there on a global stage. Things still heating up in Russia and Ukraine, and now Belarus providing sanctuary, kind of, sort of, for the Wagner group. And then the U.S. also being predicted to maybe potentially have a slight recession here at the end of quarter two. It could negatively affect us. And, in crypto, especially with Bitcoin, might potentially visit back down to the $22,000 to $25,000 range. It could go up and then back down. So,
okay. How about you, Blaze? What's your prediction for Bitcoin for the second half?
I envision Bitcoin probably going on another downward spiral for a little while, but not like that low. But I really think it's not going to struggle because more people are relying on Bitcoin than any other time. More countries are going to be getting into it. People are going to actually, use Bitcoin as their national currency. So I don't think any of this stuff going on right now is going to affect crypto. I think everybody was really scared about the Binance scare,
For
and
sure,
I see an upward spiral. But what Earl said is very true. You got worldwide news going on like that, that's going to push a lot of people back, But the big investors are going to take it low and bring it back up high.
Well, I personally think that Bitcoin's going to continue this momentum. I think this momentum is really growing. And I personally feel like there's a very good chance we could see Bitcoin get that back to that like 40,000 mark.
Yeah, that's
Like
pretty
you
much what
guys
Earl
said,
was
I
saying.
think Earl said 45. I really believe we could see that 40,000 mark. 39,000 is where Elon Musk bought a large amount of Bitcoin. I think that that's a very key area of resistance. If we can get past that 30,000 mark, I think we could even see maybe as much as 50,000 by the end of this year. But my real prediction is that we're going to see an all-time high by November of 2025. So whatever happens between now and then, I think there will be some volatility, but I do believe we're going to see a lot of momentum in Bitcoin over the next 2.5 years. And there's going to be a lot of opportunity for investors to benefit from the price action in Bitcoin. I know for me personally, I'm a holder, full disclosure, of Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't even really trade it. I just accumulate it. If it dips, I try to accumulate more. And my plan is not to really even sell any Bitcoin until it gets back to an all-time high, which I anticipate will happen in 2025. But who knows? If things go crazy, we might even see an all-time high this year. Do any of you guys think there's a possibility that we could be like 70,000 this year? Think that's even a chance?
It depends on whether we have that institutional money move in. I mean, especially with some of the other topics that we're going to discuss. I mean, look at BRICS. 10 more countries just joined the BRICS system. So, it's going to be hard to tell as they push the dollars around the world and which currencies they adopt. So,
Now, there's also been a lot of other moves, um, in crypto this week. We've seen Litecoin have a really nice move. I don't know. You guys been taking advantage of any of those moves that are happening in the markets?
Bitcoin Cash, I took a move on.
Yes, Bitcoin Cash, huge
I'm
move.
all over
Thank you.
that because that is not a dead token. Me and Earl were talking about that a couple of years ago. We've always kept it on our radar. I think Earl was more interested in it than I was at one point. He was always talking to me about it. He's like, "Don't forget about these ones," But
yeah.
as far as the Bitcoin question, I'm 100% thinking on the question of do I think it can max out at a good number this year? November will tell you.
Yeah, I think
Right
hopefully
before
November will be
Christmas,
very
and
bullish.
let all these BRICS countries do what they want to do, because at the end of the day, they're going to be investing in the same thing as us in America.
100%.
I'm not worried about them. They're just going to make us stronger.
Let's talk about this news that I have on the screen right now. Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg, and they want to fight in the Coliseum in
Wait,
Italy.
what? The
They want
Coliseum?
to fight in the Coliseum in Italy, like real life
Oh my
gladiators.
God! Like the old gladiators?
Yeah, they literally want to fight in the Coliseum in
Okay,
Italy, like real life gladiators. What do you guys think about this?
I think it's going to be a spectacle for everyone to see. I mean, which channels are going to, televise this? Is it going to be on cable network, satellite network? Am I going to have to pay pay-per-view for this bad boy? You know, what's the kind of camera we're going to be looking at? Is it going to be translated into English at least? You know, and is it going to be live on Twitter or Facebook?
it's going to be
Those are
live on
great
both.
questions. Those are great questions.
It's
And
a sales pitch.
already the
You know
UFC
what?
has come out. Go ahead, Blaze. Go ahead.
It's a sales pitch now to me. They want to go to a Coliseum. I mean, come on. MMA was making sense to me.
Well, okay. So the UFC has already come out and said that they will host this fight.
Yeah, they're going to
So
host it, but they're in cahoots. Okay, me and Earl can do the same thing. If we had two big businesses, well, Blaze and Earl are going to fight. Everybody's be like, what? These guys are good friends. Mark and Elon aren't good friends, but they both own multi-billion-dollar businesses. Okay.
yep.
This will spark both of their names, even though their names are everywhere. But people that didn't even know about these guys are going to know about them.
Yep. I
Okay.
mean, I
This
don't
is a
think
stunt.
anyone likes Mark Zucky Sucky over there.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, let me
Big
ask you guys a question. Can I get your guys'
maybe
prediction?
Dortsky does.
Who would win? Who would win? Earl, who
Elon
would
Musk.
win?
I think Elon's going to have it on the weight advantage because, I mean, Mark's a very light guy, but he's got that reach. I think he'll have a height advantage. So, I mean, it depends on how exactly they're going to do it, hand to hand. Are they going to be, shield and sword like they were back in the day? Are there going to be chariots?
Yeah, is it going to be a joke?
We need the down low on what exactly they're planning here. Are they going to be jumping from hot weather balloons? I mean, we don't know.
Right. And I'll tell you, Rich, this is it's messy to me now. Like, these guys, they know what they're doing. Elon Musk would really, in the real world, do the walrus on them, flop on them, and keep them on the ground until he suffocates. Very easy. But if Mark gets into the martial arts and does kick him in the face a couple, he'd probably knock him out.
Yeah.
I don't care how big you are. Guys that are 5'7", 5'8", that are trained could put down a 6-foot guy, no problem.
The great thing about Elon is, I mean, he has that mental disability, but he's always smiling because of it. So even while he's getting his butt kicked, he'll be smiling.
He'll still look like he's okay. So the ref will never know when it's time to give up.
All right.
But Elon Musk by a milestone with the walrus.
Let's move on to the next topic. So the next topic I want to talk about is ChatGPT, or some would call it OpenAI. I want to go to their website. I want to show you guys their website. And this has kind of started to take over the world here. There are people literally making millions of dollars from ChatGPT. There's people starting new businesses with ChatGPT. There's people that are learning about the benefits of ChatGPT. What do you guys think is going to come out of this? Is ChatGPT and artificial intelligence, and started with OpenAI, this is the website that started it all. Is this safe for humanity? I'd love to know your opinion. What do you think, Earl? Start with you.
I think that humanity will be completely safe. I mean, with robots and AI taking over with everything, I mean, we're trying to move progressively further forward where the human race doesn't have to work. They can more creatively create things. But the scary part is that, the AI is using part of that creativity on some of these images they're using. And what they're creating just comes from a data source. So, we have to figure out whether that data source that's being programmed with is accurate, and then whether it's being plagiarized or fed in, and then secondarily, whether it's all going to be fed in through like propaganda. Because let's say, Russia gets their hands on it and feeds out a bunch of propaganda with AI. Who's to say that that isn't going to be one of the sources that we're getting our information from with Russian disinformation?
I think, to be honest with you, it's not going to affect human. Okay, it's going to enhance us. I use it all the time. I love it, and I back it up. And don't worry about it. Kids can't really use it homeschooling and cheating, because there's another program out that literally tracks if you're using it. So that's the only thing that most parents are worried about. You know what I mean? But we always have our news out there that like to learn how to make illegal things and ask questions. They also have blocks on a lot of that stuff. But if it gets into the wrong hands, it could cause problems. Anything could.
So 2023 has been the year of ChatGPT and the year of artificial intelligence so far. Do you think that the other half, the second half of 2023, will be the same? Or do you think that this bubble has burst and it's over? We'll start with you, Earl. What's your opinion on that for the second half of 2023?
Has to definitely continue. I mean, we looked at a rise in the S&P 500 due to NVIDIA out and saying that there was a huge demand for it, and then all the AI crypto have exploded. I mean, we're currently working on more infrastructure on AI. As AI continues to build itself up, that's going to be a day where we don't have to worry about it no more. But, with some of these infrastructure things, we're just getting started. I mean, you have several tokens that have moved in. Let's say Singularity, which is backed with Cardano. You have OpenAI, which might be, set up where you can get information from when it's actually fully connected to the internet. But then you have safeguards built in there, like AI Right, which is one of the new platform tokens that are coming out. It's going to be like an NFT marketplace. But the great thing about it, that you're looking at is that uses artificial intelligence to actually scan every single NFT that comes through and tell you whether it's been copyrighted. So you won't have as
Wow.
much plagiarism going on, and it's going to be completely safe for you to list your NFTs on there, plus create your NFTs on there with artificial. But always do your
AI,
own research. It's no
right?
financial
AI,
advice.
QR codes, all going to be mixed together. Police cars are going to have AI attached, built into it, and your own vehicles. I think AI gets bigger. It's just the beginning. It's just a tiny little seed right now, and the tree's about to come.
I agree with you. I think that we're going to see a lot more
This is
AI,
puny right
and I
now.
think this is just the start for AI, in my opinion. I feel like AI is just literally in the first inning, and most people still don't know how to use it. Like, for example, this website. When I talk to people about this website, 99% of people have never used this website. So I want to show you guys how simple it is to use. So you go to openai.com. You go to log in if you have an account, which I do. So you hit log in, right? And then you log in, and I'm not going to show you guys my account and stuff, but it's really, really simple. It's really, really simple in how it works.
Mm-hmm.
You literally hit log in once your account's set up, and then you type in almost anything. Like, for example, when I was thinking about different names for this show, I said, come up with a name for a stock and crypto show. And it came up with the Bull and Bear Show. I liked it. I used the name. So it's a great example of how you can use it. You can use it for almost anything as just like another brain to bounce ideas off of, you know? And I think it's absolutely brilliant. Now, can kids use it for you know, their homework, and could it potentially be used negatively? Yes. So that's something as parents we need to be careful that kids are not using
Well,
that.
they got a system called Turned In. So
Yeah.
if they try to write essays through ChatGPT, it detects it right away.
Oh wow, that's great.
It's intertwined because we tested it with the school. I helped them test it, so I know for a fact that Turned In will bust it. Will bust you 100%. So it's not going to affect anything like that. What is good for, if a kid is stuck on a subject, they can ask it questions about the subject, read about it a lot quicker than Google does, and flip into a book. It's teaching them what they're looking for, and then they can put it in their own words. That is not cheating.
So Amanda says AI is making people easier influenced than governments ever did. People suddenly stopped critical thinking. And then she says, however, I'm invested in a few AI stocks, so I'm here for the ride, watching humanity fail.
Oh, damn.
That's pretty bleak.
I mean,
It's a pretty bleak. Yeah,
I mean,
like
that's why I'm
ChatGPT
worried.
is that you can get more into the critical thinking because I mean it puts the world at your voice and rather than your fingertips. You know, you can use the voice command, but it, you know, you can get more down to what you're actually seeking. So most people in the world do not know how to run an official query on a search engine to get what they want. They don't know what to type in to find exactly what they want, and most people give up or just get a little splash of the information that they need that's on a page of, let's say, news, right? So they don't know where to go to look for it, and they don't know what to do. So the actual chat GPT, you can actually ask for its sources, or if it gives you an issue, you know, where you ask it what's better, a banana sandwich or a tomato sandwich, and it gives you the reason, you can ask it, well, why? And then, well, why this and why that and why this? So it gets you more
Right, you
down
can
into where
follow
you
up
can
with
ask the
questions.
critical thinking questions and get to the result that you actually want.
Mm-hmm. So, in my opinion, I'm a critical thinker. It's never going to take that away from me. It's only going to enhance my thinking.
And the answer is
Okay.
tomato sandwiches are always better than a banana sandwich.
All day, any day. Let's take off a banana sandwich. But honestly, at the end of the day, the thing that's going to ruin people is like good songwriters. There's a lot of good songwriters out there that are actually, they hit what they call a wall, and their mind goes blank. Okay, Sully from Godsmack suffered it a couple of times. Thank God he wrote a book of songs when he was younger to back him up to make the last 3 albums. Get what I mean?
Mhm.
But with ChatGPT, you could say a little bit about Rich, about his history, his family, and put it in there and say, can you develop a song, create a song for me with this information? It will do it. It will do it. So, sorry, I got to let my cat out. Right, go.
So Amanda's saying that ChatGPT will answer you based on influenced results.
Mhm.
Influential results. I test
Influence.
it out every day, though. I do. I test
Influenced
it.
results. Like she believes that ChatGPT is going to give you an answer that has been influenced by the elite, for example,
Mhm.
and they're going to train ChatGPT
They
to
ain't going to
give you
fool
an
me and Earl.
answer.
I'm telling you right now.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, I've never even thought about that. Actually, I thought that the machine would just answer the best answer, but maybe there will be a little bit of bias.
That's
Who
what
knows?
I was
They're going to
saying was,
train.
the Russian disinformation propaganda machine, if it's used right, in their country.
Guys, think about it. They do that with the news anyways.
Mhm.
Because the average person does not think properly and listens to everything they're told without doing their own investigation. Okay? So just
true.
because ChatGPT tells me to do something, we've done it one night on my broadcast. We're like, yeah, okay. We're not agreeing with that. There's some things that you're not going to agree on. It's only to enhance your own thoughts, all right? You can tell if you're being led into something. And like I said, a good 80% of the public don't know any better to double check things. They're just going to listen to what they hear and believe what they hear. And people got to stop doing that.
I mean, it goes into things like, Rich, when he typed it in, the better name might have been the Bull and the Beer Show rather than the Bear Show. So
Well, they could
you
have called,
you
we
never
should
know
call
where
it
the
the Bear
influence
and
is
Bull
coming
Show.
from.
100%. No, you're right. So let's go into the next topic here because this is another interesting topic that that I have on the screen.
I
here.
don't want to discredit
Supreme
Amanda,
Court.
though. Sorry about that, but I'm not discrediting her opinion.
Oh no, of course not. Supreme Court strikes down Biden's student loan forgiveness plan. So I'm Canadian. I'm really out of this discussion, and I really don't know how I feel about it. But I'd like to know what you guys think as Americans, as taxpayers. We'll start with you, Earl. What do you think about the Supreme Court striking down Biden's $400 billion student loan forgiveness plan? Essentially, he said he was going to forgive all these students on their loans, and now it's been stricken down, so it's no longer happening. So all these students are panicking now because they thought that their loans would be forgiven, and now they got to come up with 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 each, and it's creating a lot of stress, and it's one of the biggest topics in America right now. So what do you think about this, Earl?
I think the Supreme Court dealt them a hand of life, lessons there, where they can learn that, don't count your chickens till they're hatched, and nothing ever comes free, especially education. You get paying for it one way or you're sacrificing for it or coming out the pocket. So, when he introduced it, it was crazy and ridiculous that we're going to come out of our own pockets to pay for people, who are trying to better their life. And, education is great and grand and all and free in most countries. But here in America, our education system is even worth the money that most people have already spent on it anyway, compared to other countries. So I don't agree with us paying their debts, that they've already incurred. Let's spend money and just pay off our debt ceiling, and go from there, or make education more free, but unregulated by the government.
My opinion, I think they shouldn't have opened up with everything's free. It should have been with a forgiveness on partial, like where we should help them out a little bit because that's our future. And second of all, we're out there giving billions of dollars to people to fight out of our neighborhood. So it irritates me that they can sign a bill and send a ton of money over to another country where they're banking it because they already have weapons and everything they need. But you don't want to help your own kids out. That's what tickles me wrong. So,
And
you know
what?
what? As a kid, if you tell me something, I'm believing my country's got my back, and now they shoot it in the foot. You know how many students I've been hearing out at the beach everywhere I go? These kids are. It's not good. It's not good. They need to fix something. They need to help. And like Earl said, the money they're spending on education to get now, they're getting ripped off. They're
Well,
better
not
off
just
using
that. How much money has the
ChatGPT.
United States sent to the Ukraine?
Huh?
So you're willing to send money to the Ukraine, but you're not willing to spend and invest in your own
And your
people?
own kids. Never mind people.
That
Your future.
doesn't seem right.
Your future
Same
politicians.
thing in Canada. Like Canada is sending money out to the Ukraine, but they're not giving any loan forgiveness to students here.
It's ridiculous.
So you're willing to throw money into other countries to help other people suffering in other countries. Why are you not willing to give back a little bit to your own country, especially when you're considering the fact that you're just printing the money? And then the other thing that Biden brought up, which I actually thought was a good point, Biden made a comment. He's like, well, it's okay for all these rich people to get massive billion-dollar tax breaks, but we're not going to give the kids a tax break. We're not going to give the kids a break when they're the future doctors, teachers, lawyers, dentists of America. We're not going to give them a break.
Well, they should have
Now,
filed. They should have filed for federal financial aid if they wanted a handout from the government, rather than taking out student loans from some bank or some financial organization.
Well, the problem is, Earl, is that the government, United States of America, bails out banks on everything.
Exactly, but I mean, if they, back in the day, back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, 90s, there was financial aid through the government. You could Pell Grant, and tuition
you
assistance.
can take your time and fill out the paperwork.
Who's taking out an $80,000 loan to go through college to get a $60,000 a year job?
Good question. I think with great grades showing, good academics, good track record, they need to qualify. Kids that are really trying should be able to apply and get what Biden's offering. So they need to tweak it a little bit, which he's probably going to, and they're going to bring it back in, and something's going to be done for the kids that are actually doing the right thing.
I mean, the Supreme Court, all they do, is tell you whether it's constitutional or not. They don't make laws.
They said it's not constitutional?
Correct. It's not, and it's not. It's not. No, it's not written into the Constitution of America that education should be paid for. That's
but it is our duty.
It's constitutional.
It is our duty.
That's not the Supreme Court.
Yeah, but it's not written directly, but it is our duty to pass on information to people that are, like kids. Like, you have to teach. You have to push things for everything. Your knowledge should be shared. That is your duty as an American. So as
it's your duty, but it's not written in the Constitution, so it's not under the privy of the Supreme Court.
But here's the problem, right? Here's the problem. They're going around giving people $2,500, $5,200 for the Medicare. Whoever don't have Medicare break, and people out there buying food with it, and they're bragging about it and stuff. Look at all this money we're dumping into caviar and free plane rides. You know what I mean? Look, if they cut down on their Grubhub and all the stuff they like to do around the world, these little things they do in America here, the money should go into kids. In the future, man, because if the kids don't know any better, we're in trouble. That's all I gotta say. We're in a lot of trouble.
Spend the money on the future or fixing your past mistakes. Don't spend it.
Your generation, as a 35-year-old man, your generation, after that, that's it, bro. You are the youngest generation that actually has focused on the future. Like anybody like in the 20s and 25, we're in trouble. They're not getting what we knew. We're not learning. You know what I mean? All the gaming they're doing nowadays. Like when you were a kid, gaming was not like it is now. But with games going on and all this technology and stuff, dude, at the end of the day, every country's in trouble. Canada, USA, I don't care where you are. We need to keep kids focused on school, because then they're going to look for other ways to make money. You're going to have a bunch of
that comes down to parenting, number 101. Keep your kids away from the games as much and put them on education. So,
you know what kids are doing for work right now? They're social media. That's it. College is gone. ChatGPT takes over, and social media. Pretty soon, all these big colleges are going to go down, and they're going to have 10 to 20 people in there a year.
Yep, that's what I said.
Gaming,
AI is going to take over, and it's all going to be created.
Play video games these days, right? So apparently they're going to be paying kids to play Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, they're paying kids to play games. So look, at the end of the day, it is a digital world, technological world. Okay, colleges. You can do college at home. You don't even need to go to Florida State or Florida U. You know what I mean? You don't need to go anywhere, Boston College, anywhere, because they're making it so hard for these kids to pay for this stuff, and the prices are so high they can't even support themselves to feed themselves, let alone get a dorm. So now you got a big bill to go to college. Kids are gonna go the other way. I'm telling you, social media flood. That's it, man. Things are going to change, and it's going to change rapidly. As each year goes by, it's going to be like 10 years going by when we were kids, Rich.
Okay, real quickly, because I want to stay on topic, and we have some more things I want to discuss, but that's a very controversial issue.
We should recap that next week.
Yeah, and we'll continue to stay on top of that and see what happens, because I know Biden's going to continue to push to see if he can make something happen there. So the next thing I want to talk about is the SEC's restriction and rejection of Bitcoin spot ETFs, which initially it looked like a lot of these Bitcoin spot ETFs with BlackRock and Fidelity were going to get approved. And then it looked as though SEC now this week came out and said that they were rejecting some of the paperwork. And now those institutions have come back and said that they've refiled the paperwork and resubmitted with the SEC. So what do you guys think about this? You guys think this is going to be a speed bump? Do you think that they will not get approved? Do you guys expect the SEC to approve these Bitcoin spot ETFs? Earl, we'll start with you.
Well, I think Gary Gensler just saw Bitcoin, blast all the way up, along with other cryptos having a huge rally this week. And he had to just say something to try to drive it back down, to try to declare his spot. We don't know exactly whether it was actual paperwork wasn't properly filled out, or they didn't fill it out at all because, it's Fidelity and BlackRock's, and they're like, hey, here's our name, just approve us immediately, but if they're truly serious about it, they're going to go ahead and refile the paperwork and get it done, and then we'll see what goes on with Gary Gensler with Congress, So yeah. I don't view it impacting as very much the profit marginal holds that are going on should be being released that were just profit orders. So, with dip today, that might have been part of that, of them being released. And then, as you see, it recovered nicely today. So,
yeah.
What do you think, Blaze? What do you think about this news?
I like what you used when you said it in the beginning of the speed bump. Yeah, it's a speed bump, bro. Look, they have butted. You all know what I mean by that. I don't want to swear on the Rich's Lab. So they have butted the paperwork. Okay, they threw it in there just to plant the seed. Okay, they knew they were going to get rejected right away. Now they're going to pay. They're going to pay more money to upgrade the real, paperwork that's going to go through. And then if they reject that, then they're going to go even deeper. Okay, because when BlackRock wants something, they're going to go for it, and they're going to keep on hounding. And then eventually, you're going to have Chase Bank involved, Bank of America. Everybody's going to do it. They're going to keep on
last week
hounding.
There was $27.8 trillion offered for spot markets onto the ETF of Bitcoin. $27.8 trillion.
You know what I mean? That's a lot of tax money in the future. So SEC is eventually going to get hit up by the government and say, what are you doing? You're taking away our funds.
And BlackRock has a 575-1 record with filing for products with the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Correct.
So only one time in their history have they been rejected by the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Look, they're going to reject it. They're going to reject it until the guy that's running the SEC gets released.
Well, the beautiful part is whether they reject it or accept it, they have to recognize it as a actual viable asset, because they have to recognize it as an asset, because it can't be purchased and it can't be denied if it's not an asset, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Good point, Earl.
Amanda thinks it's just a distraction.
Yeah, it's just a speed bump, Amanda. That's it. It's just a little. You're driving down the road.
Trying to slow everything. They're just trying to slow everything down so that they can find a way to, like you said, tax it better, control it better, regulate it better.
The paperwork was bummy too, Rich. It wasn't strong paperwork.
Yeah, they just threw it in, like you said. I agree with what you said. They threw it in just to kind of put their feet in the water, get a little taste to see.
They're real lawyers and educated people are going to write the real papers, and SEC is going to have a problem saying no to what they're going to do. It's going to generate trillions of dollars
that they're not invested in yet.
Correct.
Let's get into the next topic here, which I think is a very interesting one for you guys, especially in America. The FedNow and digital currency is open today, July 1st. Today is the first day of FedNow. Now, what do you guys think about this? Is this something that you guys are welcoming with open arms? Is this something that you're not excited about? Is this something that you need to learn more about? We'll start with you, Earl. What do you think about FedNow and the digital currency in America?
Horrible. Horrible.
Horrible. Wow. All right, because
Yeah.
it's taking away decentralization, right?
Well, it's taking away decentralized. Came up with the CBDC for America as its currency. Who's to say we can even transfer currency out of? Say, I send my girlfriend $4,000 a month in Brazil currency where she can put it out, and, right? So you're going to run into issues, where crypto is going to fill in those gaps, and it's not going to be through the CBDC. Government, hoops of trying to get into the crypto market their own way, where they think people invest money because it has the United States name, Miami token. It doesn't matter if you want a good product; it's not going to sell. And I have no problem with them digitalizing currencies. It's just give a platform where we can actually do it and don't restrict us on what we can do with it.
What do you think,
Sorry
Blaze?
about that. I think it's a joke because, like Earl said, the product. I mean, but at the end of the day, the United States, they're going to try and get their nose into everything. Of course, our government does that, but it's just the first step to digitalizing American currency, like I've been saying for the past 2 years. So I'm mixed. I'm mixed in between, like, I have a mixed feeling about it. Is it our first step to go digital? Because I'd rather have the US dollar be digital. I'd rather not have paper currency. So I'm up in the air about all their projects, but I don't like how they're putting the foot in the door with this one. Because technically, just because, like you said, it has a U.S. stamp on it doesn't mean it's sellable or marketable.
It's funny because they're saying the FedNow is not a CBDC digital currency. So I'm trying to understand what exactly is it then?
It's a digital asset. That's what I was on the understanding. But
Sounds like just a place for people to get assistance. Let's say you get your food stamps or your Social Security, and most people don't have bank accounts. It's just a place for them to get something and be able to spend it. I mean, pretty much that's what it is at this point. You might be able to transfer funds back and forth between people who actually have an account, like Cash App, and it might be able to, who's to say that they're not going to just pass that as a currency, money, and then just tax you from there because they can it's already into the system. So it's just them trying to get their feet into everything without knowing what they're doing. And America's a capitalistic country. Let the capitalism America into the digital market and try to regulate it. We have to recognize that currencies are going digital. Just give us something we can work on and let capitalism work its magic. Don't regulate at the beginning.
I still think it's a little Ponzi scheme to get their foot in the door for cryptocurrency. I mean, digital currency.
It sounds
it's
like
a
they're
pump
trying
and
to say
dump.
that they're trying to say that some of the advantages are they can receive money immediately. You don't have to wait 1 to 3 days.
Right. It's
so
the
it
same
sounds
thing as
just like
cryptocurrency does.
It sounds just like crypto.
You're getting your digital assets, guys. You're getting your digital.
It's because they're running it on the Ripple network. Through XRP.
That we can't buy over here in America.
Who they've had shut down for years with still there.
That's why they're running it on it, because they don't want us on it.
So so the SEC is in a lawsuit with Ripple, and while the SEC is in a lawsuit with Ripple, FedNow comes out essentially doing what Ripple was doing, using the Ripple network, despite the fact that the SEC is in a lawsuit with Ripple.
Correct. That's called stealing somebody's
really
idea.
How crazy is that?
Because
Oh yeah,
it's
and
such a
Ripple's
good
not available
idea,
in the US.
Rich. Ripple's such a good
But yet,
idea. It's the only
but
way
yet
we can steal it.
Ripple's not available in the US, but yet the United States is using Ripple for FedNow.
That's what I'm saying. They're the only ones that want to be able to use it,
Wow,
not us.
unbelievable.
Because we'll
Amanda
capitalize
says
on
it's
it.
a practice for the
They don't want us
CBDC.
to capitalize on something that we're already going to be capitalizing, or people that may be capitalizing on. You get what I mean?
Just here to say, officially, as of this week, has passed 200,000 transactions on the Cardano for a fifth of the price. Like, so it's going to be cheaper. Crypto.com, and I'm not doing.
I agree.
And the thing is, if they're going to only implement it as like a part-time thing, I just don't see how it's going to be successful.
You remember the old locomotive train? And now Japan's got them trains that go, what, hundreds of miles an hour? That's how far the U.S. is behind with this FedNow to crypto ideas and fast transactions and safer ones. You know what I mean?
See, what it looks like to me, what they're going to do, I'm thinking about this a lot. I'm thinking, okay, they're probably going to use it as a way whenever they're sending you money from the government, they just send it right into your account. They're going to use that as a way for like single moms. You know, they give money to single moms. Like you said, like someone that's on welfare, they're going to send it to you through your instead of getting a welfare check, they'll send it right into your account. So you don't have to wait 1 to 3 days. It feels like this is what they're going to do. They're going to use it as a test for all the people that are receiving government money. They're going to send it to you through FedNow digitally, and they're going to test it that way.
You know why, Rich?
And why?
Because Social Security, EBT, and stuff like that, government funds that they give cash, it costs them a lot of money in bank fees. Okay? A lot.
That's right.
Well, even look at child
support.
Just went through the $80
right
a year money through the state to pay your child support.
FedNow's idea is going to save billions of dollars, American taxpayers' money. That's what it's about. But they're doing it wrong.
They're wrong.
Completely wrong.
Estimate, how to regulate it, sit back and let it run its course, and then they come in to try to actually make you money so they can make money, and then start regulating and trying to make it. And they're just not that phase. They're trying to jump through hoops to get ahead of something that they're.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's continue on with the next topic that I want to bring up. Did you have something you want to say, Blaze?
No, I was just saying I agree with Earl. It's this is stuff we talk about a lot, and we haven't really been conversating about many things in the past month or so. But this is a good strike, Earl. I like your info there, bro.
What do you guys think about this?
Boom.
There's a gentleman named David Hunter that believes that gold will reach $3,000 in a market melt-up, which we're already in right now. Market melt-up is when the market explodes, and we've pretty much been in a market melt-up so far in the first half of 2023. And with Bitcoin and cryptos doing extremely well, you can call this year a market melt-up. He believes we're going to see a $3,000 gold. Right now, gold is about $1,927. So that would be a big move. It would be an all-time high for gold. He also believes that the S&P 500 will be up at least 36% by the end of 2023. And I believe the S&P 500 might be up like 10% or so this year. So he believes we're going to see a huge second half of 2023. What do you guys think? We'll start with you, Earl. Do you agree with any of this? Do you think that this momentum continues in 2023? Do you think we see a $3,000 gold? Do you think this is crazy, or do you agree with any of the stuff that David Hunter's saying?
I think he's off his rocker. There's too much going on, in the macro environment for that possible. I mean, what are we looking at driving the markets up 36% between the S&P? I mean, we're looking at huge tech coming up and driving the markets up like NVIDIA did. Are we looking at new computers being, are we looking at, oil being pushed all the way up, seeing, it has balance between the S&P and the Dow. So, it can't just be one up 30
on the hedge funds.
Sorry, guys. What was that?
He got a little inside information on the hedge funds. The
It
people
just
that run up GameStop and AMC, you know, I mean, markets go up real quick when you juice things up like that. But
what do you think,
sorry
Blaze?
about
That's everything, and I mean, we still haven't seen the price correction for driving up to 31,000 on Bitcoin yet, much less in the Nvidia, you know, and Apple booming, you know. So
Mhm.
price correction, I mean, somewhere there, and then people are going to cash out whenever it gets boring, and
I
invest it
say
into
Hunt is
something
about
else.
50% right, Earl. I think Hunt is
I
about
mean, he sounds like
50%
Hunter
right.
Biden to me at this point, so that's all I
Yeah,
have.
they got his last name's his first name.
What do you
But
what do you
listen, I
think?
think,
What do you think about this, Blaze?
without
What's your
without
opinion?
me trashing him that bad, I think he's out of his mind on the market, maybe. But as far as gold goes, I absolutely agree because precious metals are used for technology. Okay, supply and demand. Gold is going to crank soon.
But the U.S. dollar is the U.S. dollar, but with BRICS going on in the macro, I don't see that happening.
But the U.S. dollar is not really. We're not really. It's not
Well, it's
backing up
based
our
off
capital.
oil now versus gold, but originally counted as gold,
Yeah.
but oil ain't been doing well. So for
Yeah,
there
but
be
I
a
think
30-cent
gold is
increase in the oil drive in the markets with Russia currently being in the macro environment. So
gold is a worldwide, you know, commodity. So I mean, at the
Mhm.
end of the day, there's a lot of gold that's going to be needed for a lot of things, and so I really believe, you know, it's going to go up to about $2,500, not too far from now.
You know, I gold has been one of those things, and I've been watching gold for a while, for years, and it struggles to get past 2,000. So it really is
Mhm.
hard for me to believe that gold's going to get to 3,000 because every time we get to 2,000, it sells off.
I
Every
bought
time.
gold at $200 an ounce. Okay, and when it look at it's going to hit $3,000. I agree with him.
Yeah, and there's a lot of gold lovers that believe it's going to go even higher. It's just as a just a pure technical trader, every time I see it hit 2,000, it sells off. So for me,
Mhm.
I need to see it get past 2,000 and stay above 2,000 for a significant period of time for me to believe it can get to 3,000. I'm
I
not saying
agree
it
with
can't
you on
happen.
that too. I agree with you on that too.
I'm not saying it can't happen. It's just it's going to be a struggle because for whatever reason, every time it gets to that 2,000 mark, 2,100 mark, 2,200 mark, it sells off very aggressively. So I don't
Mhm.
know if that's investors that just don't think it could go any higher.
No,
I
that's not
don't know.
investors. That's governments.
The
Yeah, I
only,
mean,
the only thing that might help drive the price of gold up is currently running out of available land for them to be mining for gold, and still have huge other gold mines throughout the entire south, and like Argentina, Chile, and Peru that are just have plenty still sitting there unmined. Where that, you know, so for they'll just be moving their this air to start mining, especially with, you know, everything that's going on. You know, the only thing that's going to stop them is they're still going to continue to mine the economically cheaper for them to mine in these countries than it is where it's heavily regulated by, you know, the environmentalists. So
Hmm.
the price of it going that much.
okay.
Well, because the government, you know, the government puts their hands in this and they control it. And when it goes up, they're dumping it off.
Yeah, but it's supply, and then
No, but I'm a strong believer. You know, look, we still haven't even given Germany their gold back. You know, so
Let's
that's
talk
good.
about this.
Germany
The
owes
last,
us.
this is the last topic I have, and then we can finish off on today's episode. We only got 8 minutes left.
wow,
So
that time flew
Apple
by.
hits a historic 3 trillion market cap. Now, Apple is the first company ever to hit a 3 trillion market cap, meaning it is the biggest company in the world. What do you guys think of this news?
Damn.
Place.
That's almost 3 times the max of what Bitcoin hit at one point. I mean, that's
And Blaze,
huge.
remember, all of last year I was talking about buying Apple. In
Yeah,
fact, I
Earl
bought
too.
Apple and I sold it too soon, and now Apple just hit an all-time high.
You and
So
Earl were both talking about Apple being
very
strong.
bullish on Apple because they had more cash in the bank than pretty much any company in the world. And last year, Apple had a big drop, and that was a great buying opportunity. And we've seen it pretty much double in a year. So it's been a really good run for Apple. And now we talked about this earlier. I'll show you guys what is one of the key driving factors of Apple. It's these right here. See this?
Yep.
These vision.
Finally created something other than an iPhone.
Correct. So one of
Right.
the problems that, and this is the weird thing about Apple. I'm going to tell you guys my opinion on Apple. I actually think Apple is overvalued, and the reason is I like to look at the company's fundamentals, and the fundamentals actually haven't been good. In fact, in the last 3 quarters, Apple's revenues have actually gone down for 3 quarters in a row. Their revenues have gone down. So how is a stock going up to all-time highs as their revenues are going lower? It's because of anticipation of new products.
It's future buys.
Earl touched on it. Anticipation of new products that are coming out into the market, because that's what drove Apple to become the most powerful company in the world and have tons of cash in the bank, was their iPhone and the Macs and their computers and all of their products. And now they've got these Apple Vision Pro goggles, which I hear are like $3,500 a piece. And with anticipation of this product going out, which I don't think the product even is for sale yet, but with this anticipation of this product going out, the stock has started to go crazy and hit all-time highs. Are you guys going to buy one of these $3,500 products?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not
I'm gonna
interested
stick
at all.
with my Ray-Bans for now.
I have my Berg purchase and it does me fine for $400. So
Yeah,
I
so
think
Mark
I'm
Zuckerberg's got his $400 headset, and now Apple's coming up with their $3,500 US headset.
You know
That's
why
like
I wouldn't buy it?
4,500 Canadian. Go ahead.
You know
Go
why
ahead.
I wouldn't buy it? Because this is the first thing of that. Look at the first iPhone that came out and compare it to the one you can get now. So why would I waste $3,500? Like if you bought one of those flat screen TVs, remember it was like $2,000 for a junky LCD. You can
Yep.
get them for friggin' $200 now.
Oh yeah.
Technology
I mean,
is
look
not that. It's not interesting enough for me to spend $3,500 on it when I can get it for $500 in a couple of years. You know.
I mean, look at your iPhone. You know, it overheats the application so hot that it almost burns you. You want that sitting on your face, on your eyes?
Yeah, right. You want that around your brain?
Yeah, the radiation around your brain and your eyes cannot be a good thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Exploding
be the guinea
batteries
pig.
and
I'm
stuff.
sorry.
Yeah.
God gave us eyes to see beautiful things. You know what I mean? You will never see anything more beautiful than your natural eyes can see. So that's garbage to me. Sorry.
All right, guys. So we're near the end of the episode, and we've talked about a lot of different topics today. I want to wish everybody a happy Canada Day once again if you're in Canada. I want to wish everyone a happy July the 4th if you're in America. I want to wish everyone a great weekend, and thank you guys for joining us. Earl, is there anything else you want to say before we say goodbye?
Yeah, you know, before you go in investing in anything that we've mentioned here, make sure you do due diligence, do your own research. We're not financial advisors. You know, that's the main topic. You know, anything that we mentioned, we've taken an interest, into investing into a few of these things, and we're not subject matter experts. You know, there's a plethora of information out there. You know, come back with us for some questions. You know, we might be getting, you know, and we'll get to the bottom of everything eventually.
I love it. How about you,
Salute
Blaze?
to that.
Anything
Yeah,
else
definitely.
you want to say before we say goodbye?
I notice the videos after we're done, they're getting a lot of views. So anybody out there watch this video later, look, follow the show. We plan on making this show bigger than ever. We need all you guys to back us up. Come into the show, start slapping your questions up in the chat. Rich will read them out loud to us. This is the beginning of what we're doing here. So we really appreciate all your support, and it's always a pleasure to be on any show with you two.
Yeah, I love having you guys on the show. We look forward to having you on lots more. Are there any picks you guys want to talk about? Any picks at all that we can show the audience? I know that
Yeah,
Earl's always making investments, so, and I know you too, Blaze.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, with us talking about the AI network, I would definitely say some of the futures would be that AI right, which is one of the tag is AI. You want to type that in real quick? It's
Is
hugely
that
undervalued.
is that on
It,
CoinMarketCap?
it should be on Coin Market Cap.
AIRI?
Yep.
All right. AIRI. AI right. Guys, Earl is literally a genius when it comes to these small cap plays. Super risky. We're not going to sit here and tell you to buy it, but he likes to find these little low floaters, tight little small cryptos that have a chance to explode. And here's an AI one right now, AIRI.
Oh, grand. Look at that.
Yeah,
100
put it
million
on your radar.
market cap. $100 million market cap. Currently, $3 billion only in the AI industry. Number one token being slightly over one, number two at like 430 million. This one's sitting at 100 million and has, to potentially go say $1 billion. So you 98 times your money.
Oh, wow.
$1,100 will give you 87,000 in profit. It has a huge upside, but like I said, do your own research. This is one of those actual infrastructures, like I was saying, that is for the NFT marketplace, where they're going to be using AI to actually and go for plagiarism, and won't let you actually on there or tourism, but it's also going to be a platform where you can create these and AI science and technology. So it's feeding into the Orca chain, which is the number 4 traded AI, and was plays into just being an infrastructure blockchain for artificial and also implementing into level spatial and video platforming.
Well, hey, there you go. One
I
more
like
pick
that
on the
one.
road, AIRI. And like Earl said, we are simply for information and education purposes. Please do your due diligence, do your research before you invest in anything we talk about or discuss here on the Rich TV Live podcast. Gentlemen, thank you for joining. I have a description to both of their YouTube channels. Go and subscribe to Earl and Blaze on YouTube. Thank you for joining us today, guys. Our 6th episode of the Bull and Bear Show. And it's been a great episode. Time flies when you're having fun. Thank you guys, and have yourselves a great weekend. And for everyone that's watching, if you're not winning, you're probably not watching. We bring you the winners, CEO interviews, chart analysis, trending topics, breaking news, and engaging conversations. And we bring it to you first. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Have a great weekend, everybody. Gentlemen, thank you for being here, and we'll see you guys next week.
Happy 4th. Happy 1st. Much
Happy
love, you guys.
Yes.
Yep. Canadians
Happy
first.
July the 4th,
USA
guys.
4th.
Enjoy it. Have some fun. And for everyone in Canada, happy Canada Day. We'll see you guys soon.